This conference will now be recorded.
Yep. Yeah, please mute yourself. Yeah, wait, just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. We can start. Just wait. I just shared the Docker notes. Could you please collect it from the management? Okay. I'll share the Docker notes. Okay, and also the entry questions. Yeah, please collect it from the management. Yeah, you can collect it from Siva sir. So today we can start the very, very important tool called Kubernetes. Okay, so let me share my screen. 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Okay. Okay. I hope everyone is able to see the screen, right? So let's start the Kubernetes. So I can say Kubernetes is a orchestration engine. Kubernetes is a orchestration engine. You can manage your servers. You can manage your Docker containers, okay, within multiple nodes, within multiple computers. So let's see that. I hope everyone is able to see the screen. Not, could you please confirm?
Yeah, we are able to see.
Okay. So what we can do, so we can see Kubernetes in AWS. So consider this one. So you have one Docker server, right? There you're running different containers, right? So this is one of your container. So where you are running your Docker containers, right? One of the server. So and you have same another Docker server. You can say Docker node. Okay. So where you are running different containers. Okay. So going forward, okay, if you want to deploy your or if you want to install, create your container this in this node or in this node. So how we can manage that, how the integration is happen. So we are using Docker Compose, right? So and Docker Compose having some disadvantages like you can't manage the selection. So which node you want to deploy it, you can't manage the selection. That is one thing. The other thing is so and there is not having any API server like uh, getting the requests. Okay, there is not having a scheduler, which I mean where you want to schedule or where you want to deploy. Okay, there is no some database for the uh, entire information of the nodes. Okay, so actually the Kubernetes is the orchestration engine. So consider this is your Docker. These two are Docker nodes, and this is your Kubernetes master. So this is your Kubernetes master. So where your okay uh, some components will help you to schedule it, and some components help you to uh, store the database, and which have a API server, which have a controller. Okay, so you can deploy wherever you want. So this container, if you want to deploy into this node, okay, we can call the main one is master, and these we can call it as a nodes or agents. We can call it nodes. Okay, just note down this diagram. Okay, the container orchestration tool. Right. So, but how it will help us and how it will manage the installations or manage the deployments. Okay. So the master will have few components. Okay. Kubernetes is a orchestration engine, right? So it's a set of nodes having handled by master. So Kubernetes is a orchestration engine. Okay, and we have master. and we'll have worker. Okay, worker node or agent. Okay, the master node will help you in controlling the cluster and controlling the components, and which will host it. And we have worker node, so where your container applications are running. In your worker node only your containerized applications or your containers are running. So applications are okay. So this is your master node where your mm, I mean your entire cluster will be managed by master only. Cluster will be managed. But what the how it is meaning? What are the components having in the master? Okay, what are the different components? So master is having the first component is scheduler and controller, etcd and APS. These are the components which will help you to make use of the Docker features. Okay, and there is a few components in worker node as well. One is kubeproxy. Okay, and another one is kubelet. Okay, and another one is okay Docker. Okay, so just note down the main components. In the entry also you will get your questions. Right? So let's understand one by one now. So actually the Kubernetes mainly depends on the architecture. You should more familiar with the Kubernetes architecture. Okay. So this is your entire, okay, for example, your infrastructure. So this is your AWS account, for example. Okay. So this is your master. Okay. And these two are your worker nodes. Okay. So what I told you initially, the master is having scheduler, right? So consider this is scheduler, okay, and this is controller, right? And this is some etcd, and this is the APS, okay? So you can name this one is API server, and this is scheduler, right? Scheduler, and this is some controller, and this is etcd, right? And this is your master, so let's name this one is master. This one is agent 1, okay, or worker node 1. This is your worker 2, right? And yes, so the worker node having the kube proxy is one of the component, right? So this is kubelet. So yeah, this is some kubelet. This is your Docker kube proxy. Okay. proxy. This is your Docker where your containers and pods are running. This is your Docker. Okay. So where your containers. Okay. Here we are making two or more containers. Okay. One or more container as a pod. So containers are nothing but multiple containers. We can call it as pods. So Kubernetes technologies. Pod is nothing but one or more container. So same architecture, right? So this is right. So yeah, same components, right? So, but how we can manage? So AWS is having AWS CLI to manage that, right? Similarly, the Kubernetes having Kubernetes CTL. kubectl is having where you will run your commands to manage your cluster. Okay, like if you want to create a pod or a group of containers, so you have this. Okay, kubectl is nothing but command line interface. You can run your kubectl. And so whenever you run any command, first it will hit the API server. So okay, and it will hit the web interface. Will hit the web interface. This is your web UI. Okay, and web UI, and you will get the information. And actually the communication is happen between master and worker. So just draw this diagram as well, so we can see each component understanding now. What is scheduler, what is controller. So once it is done, we can go to the installation of Kubernetes. Just note down. I'll take a snap of it, or take a screenshot of this one. Okay. Yeah. So coming to the scheduler, so scheduler is helpful to responsible for distributing the containers. Okay, for example, if you want to distribute your container to this worker or this worker, who will responsible? So scheduler will responsible for distributing the work. Okay, you can note it down. Cube scheduler will helpful for distributing the work or containers across the multiple nodes. Distributes. Okay, the work or containers across multiple nodes. Okay, So it will helpful for deploying or distributing the containers across multiple nodes. Okay, and we have this etcd. So what is etcd? It is a database. Okay, so which will have the all the information of your data, all the information of your cluster. We can say this master master and worker node is nothing but a cluster. This is one cluster. Okay, and here the etcd is nothing but a database which will have the cluster information in key value representation format. Okay, so and whenever your cluster is failed, so you can get the backup. Okay, you can recreate it, right? So you can get the backup of it from etc. It's a database. Okay, and we have the api server, right? So the api server will get the outside request. So the API server will get the request, okay, and that will hit the, okay, whenever any outside requests are coming, first it will hit the API server. Okay, so API server is nothing but it's a communication method, so which will uh, interact with the cluster. Okay, so every user request will hit to the API server first. Okay, and which will validate the user requests. Okay, and also the API server makes sure that, okay, configurations in etcd are match. Okay, so for example, uh, so it will interact with the etcd whenever user try to deploy any container, okay, using scheduler. So the API server which helps to both schedule and etcd. So it will collect the details from the etcd and it will inform to this scheduler. Okay, right. So simple. The API server will get the request and deploy the user commands. So validates the user commands. User. What is this controller? So we can say controller or control manager. So this is responsible for, okay, noticing and responding when nodes and containers are goes down, right? So consider, so you are running some application, right, inside this node, right? So for example, this node is suddenly powered. So who will inform this? So the controller is responsible for scheduling, noticing and responding when when nodes, when containers are goes down. So it will bring down new containers in some cases. Okay, it will bring down new one as well in some cases. So we can say the cube uh, controller which helpful for noticing uh, when your containers are nodes are ghost. Noticing when containers and nodes are ghost, right? So the etcd and API server, right? So like, so we have this kubelet. So we can understand about the worker nodes. Meanwhile, just note down the master components.
Hello,
Yeah.
sir. I don't see much of material being shared with us. How can we get it?
Much material means what are the nobody as of now you received?
There was only one zip file shared with us that has only AWS, Linux, and GitHub.
Okay, the Ansible materials you didn't receive,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yes. Okay.
Actually, see the course agenda, how the flow goes, or list of
They
materials
kept
to.
in a drive. They kept in a drive.
I
Okay.
think that drive is not shared with us.
Yeah, please check with management again. They will share with you.
Okay.
There is no option here to share. Actually, I have it.
No, my concern is you are telling check with management. Management is not giving us a proper input.
They will give it because they have. I shared already. Maybe they're doing some other way, like putting it in a drive or something.
Every day they will not update the class videos in the drive, sir. I got only 3rd of November last video of from that I didn't get any video, sir.
Okay. Recording is also managed by management only. Will you please unmute yourself. Recordings also managed by management only. Share your email IDs, guys. Chandrasekhar, I'm not managing the recordings, so please, recordings point of view, you can check with management. Okay. I'm just sharing the material because I have it. That's why I'm sharing. These recordings will be managed by management. Okay. Is everyone shared their email IDs?
Yes, sir, we shared.
I received 14 emails. Let me check. 13 emails. Not open to everyone. Only for those who shared email IDs. Chandrasekhar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Who are missing? Who are missing from here? Only Chandrasekhar is there. Is anyone missing? Uh, Ajit, did you share? Ashok? Ashok? Ajit? Hello? Ashok, Ajit, could you please share? Chandrasekhar, I can see Irfan, okay. Kumar, okay. Okay. Narendra, okay. Narsimha Raju, did you share? Sharing emails also taking time. Don't know. Wrong. It's not email ID. Provided space. Ajit? Ajit, are you there? You are- 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ajit, did you share your email ID? Ajit, one person is missed. I don't know who is he. Ajay? Ajit, sorry, Ajit.
Share it.
Mine received, man. That's why I'm asking multiple times. Your email ID is also not there here. Would you please tell me? I will add here because you are the only person who's missing. Yeah, I don't know if you're not required. Yeah, no issues. Let me continue the class. So, so we have seen this master, right? Master components. Let's have the understanding of the worker node, right? What are the different worker nodes we have? Okay. So worker node component. So we have, as I told you, kubeproxy, right? So the main use of the kubeproxy is, okay, the main use of the kubeproxy is, so the networking related. Okay, the networking components like how the IP address is coming to these containers. So the networking communication between master and nodes, which will be managed using kubeproxy. Okay, the main important component is kubeproxy. Okay, just let me Ajit. Yeah. So you use this link, and also you will get the notification to your email ID. So the material I will keep it here. The interview questions also I'll keep it here only. Okay. Yeah. So please check anyone. Are you seeing or not? Are you seeing the questions or material?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
checked the material has been received. Yes.
You're seeing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are able to see.
Okay. Okay. So we have this kube proxy, which will, I don't know why again sharing emails. Just check. I mean, check that Narsimha and Kumar. Yeah, you got the access because I shared it. Just check again. Check with this link. I shared that link as well.
Okay.
So yeah, we have kubelet. So we can use kubelet for the uh, worker nodes responsibility, which will interact with the master. Okay. So and what are the activities you are running? So the kubelet will run. I mean, what are the activities are running in worker node? The kubelet will help with that. And we have the Docker for running the containers. So we can see that tomorrow the flow is missing. So we can start that how to install Kubernetes master, how to create a worker node, and how integration is happen to both. So we can start the installation from tomorrow. And this Kubernetes material, I mean the worker node components. So we can check into the drive. Okay, so I will upload by today afternoon. Part one. Okay. Okay, guys. So we can meet tomorrow.